Tonight, Sidney Powell, General Michael Flynn's defense attorney, former federal prosecutor, best-selling author, and great American. Sidney, this is such a critical moment in our history. It is also a disgrace what we are witnessing, and the absence of the Republican establishment leadership raising their voices about the corrupt acts that we're witnessing, the absence of the Department of Justice, the absence of the national leaders of this country, whether they're in business, whether they are religious leaders. What in the world, why would they be absent from this fight against corruption and upholding law and order and the American way?
I wish I knew, Lou. I don't. It's extremely troubling. The president crushed all the metrics to win this election, and then all of a sudden, votes start appearing from nowhere. They're running a mathematical algorithm that enables them to calculate the number of votes they need to create for Biden to win in circumstances where he shouldn't win at all. And they've done it. They've planned this ahead of time. They've executed it masterfully. Stopping the voting the night of the election should never have happened. It's never happened before. The whole situation was carefully calculated and created to steal the election from President Trump and the people of America, who poured out by the hundreds of thousands in rallies to support him and should continue rallying until he is elected.
Turning to one of your good friends, Judge Emmett Sullivan, who is complimenting the postal employees unions, not necessarily just them, but all of the employees of the Postal Service, for the way in which they've handled themselves despite all of the discrepancies, all of the irregularities that have been reported in their processing of ballots, or as Nancy Pelosi called the Postal Service, the election central. It's outrageous, and the judiciary seems complicit in this. Does the Supreme Court have the spine, the integrity, and the will to make right what is so wrong at this moment in our country's electoral system?
I don't know the answer to that either. I think and hope that they do. I would have hoped that the government would have moved to disqualify Judge Sullivan because of his obvious bias against President Trump. He shouldn't be ruling on election issues or post office issues, anything related to this election. I believe it's even his friend Eric Holder at Covington and Burling who brought that suit against the post office. And the lawyers are in there laughing and talking about what's going on. So nothing about that process is fair, just as nothing about the current counting and stalling on the votes is fair. You know, there are states that have been and should have been declared for Trump long ago.
Bill Barr has been absent. I have implored him on this broadcast to stand up and to lead the Department of Justice to assure electoral integrity. Do you know why the Department of Justice is so reticent when much of their tradition has been to assure fair voting, honest voting in this country, and they are absent? Well, there is no knowledge whatsoever of a single action they've taken or where they've positioned themselves in any one of these jurisdictions.
I don't know the answer to that either. I mean, we've got documentary evidence of dead people voting in Pennsylvania and votes being burned and votes appearing from nowhere. There are all kinds of different abject voter fraud issues that should be being investigated and prosecuted quickly by the Department of Justice. Not to mention the civil rights lawyers ought to be out there monitoring everything.
Right. Sidney Powell, thanks for being with us. Good to see you. Thanks so much.